you left.
The liberation of mutant kind has begun.
Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown, Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto. My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You looked so old today. Oops.
Welcome to episode issue 111 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. Yes, we are here, a house divided, if you will, but we're all friends, right? Because this is we don't talk about this. We don't talk about this here, right? So, what up, Tendu? Let's just get to it. Let's.
First of all, if you're gonna represent your team, at least
Yeah.
do it proper. Okay, don't.
Jesus. Your audio is woo out the wazoo. Well, hey, I can bust. I have a helmet right here, Nate. If you really, I was contemplating starting the show with an actual Green Bay Packer helmet on, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna go crazy. What up, Calvin?
Do I wish we had children's this weekend.
What is going on with your audio? It's like busting in from your mic to your headphone. It's weird.
No, this isn't plugged in.
It's acting weird. Anyway, let's just do the business and then we'll get to it. As always, we're going to talk about our show sponsor, which is Collected Comics and Games. That is our LCS here in the DFW area. They, help us out. We help them out. It's an amazing shop over there. If you're ever in the DFW area, go out and check Collected Comics and Games. There's one in Keller and one in Fort Worth. They're amazing comic book shops. Obviously, we're going to say that, but no, because they really are. So go check them out. And they have a website called brainycomics.com. So we'd love for you to, if you can open up another browser, if you're watching this on your desktop or on your phone, type in brainycomics.com. And when you type that, this will pop up. This is the homepage for brainycomics.com, where you can buy exclusive and variant covers of new comic books, bundles, bad idea books, new comics, mystery bags, back issues, graphic novels, games, toys and collectibles, and even trading cards and plushies. You know, he's got a decent size of plushies there too. So I'm just saying, like,
Is that what we want to call them? Plushies?
aren't they called plushies? What do you call them?
Sure, technically, yeah.
Well, what do you call them? Stuffed animals?
Stuffed animals, or like plush toys.
Plush toys.
Yeah, I think when you say it's
Why? What's wrong with plushies? What's wrong with
Maybe
plushies?
it's just you. Oh, see, now you're lowering your voice. What's wrong with plushies? Before you're like plushies.
Okay, fine. Plushies. What's wrong with plushies? What's wrong? I don't understand. Anyway, we're getting off track. Go to brainycomics.com. Check out that stuff. Buy some stuff. Then, once you're done getting right before you check out, before you do any of that, type in that search bar, Two Fat Guys Pull List. You can go ahead and click on that, press enter, and this will pop up. A Two Fat Guys Pull List upgrade and premium upgrade. What this does is puts a random mystery exclusive comic in your cart, and when you check out, you will get this mystery cover in your package when it comes into the mail. And if you do the premium, you get 2 for $15. So that's pretty cool. And a lot of these mystery variant covers look like this. They're up here at the front of the screen. Really cool exclusives. And not saying you're going to get specifically one of these, but there is a chance. And Ron likes to kind of mix and match certain books. If you get a Spider-Man book or a Hulk book or a Superman book, Batman, Teen Titans, he'll try to kind of mix and match those as well as he can. So definitely go check out brainycomics.com. Put that and do a little bit of shopping, then put that upgrade in your cart, check out, and be amazed at what you get. So check that out. Also, we're in the middle of a milestone giveaway. We're trying desperately hard to get to 750 subscribers. If we get there, we will give away the CGC 9.4 graded Silver Surfer Black issue number 1, second printing with Noel on the cover. We want to give it away, guys. We really do, but we can't until we hit 750 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a like. It would be much appreciated because we like giving away things, but we can't give away things if we don't hit those milestones. So help us out, get there. And then you all know we're sitting on it. 1,000. I don't think I had an idea of like sunsetting this thing and saying like if we don't do this by 2022, just kind of goes back in the vault.
Okay.
But I feel like that's kind of mean. But that also might be a good motivator. Like, hey, let's get this done before 2022. So anyway, 1,000 subscribers. We're giving away this, and you all know what this first appearance is. So let's do it. All right, that's gonna do it for the business. Let's get into the show, and we've got a very lively chat about Wakanda Forever. Unfortunately, I have not seen it yet, so I need to go see it. But all I've heard is really good things. I've obviously heard some people say that they're upset that it's not, it's not a cameo fest, if you will. And I could tell you without even seeing the movie that this movie is not what that is. This is a tribute. This is a tribute to an actor and to a character that a lot of people fell in love with, myself included. That felt very sad when Chadwick Boseman died. So I am looking forward to seeing it. I just got to find time to see it because I really want to, because I've heard really, really good things. So unfortunately, I don't know if it would be fair for us to talk about, or at least me and you talk about, Wakanda Forever.
No, we should probably wait till next week.
So, but talk amongst yourselves. Have a good silly goose time, and keep it nice. Anyway, let's get to this week's books. Let's just jump right into it. We've got Judgment Day, A.X.E, Omega. Really, the actual ending to Karen Gillan's Eternal run, right? If it didn't say Judgment Day on it, and this was just Eternals issue number whatever it should have been, yay, love it. This is great. I love the ending. But because this is the ending to Judgment Day, and you're supposed to make it this like much bigger, Judgment Day ending. Yeah, no, it was flat.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know. I guess to a certain extent, we need to realize that the Judgment Day was really an Eternals event all along, and I don't know. Maybe Marvel will do a better job of making that a point in like collected editions or something. But it just if this should have been just an issue of Eternals. We should have probably had the Eternals tie-in issues should have just kept being numbered and gone through, and then we had our finale. You call it Eternals issue 16, Judgment Day Omega, or something like that, to let people know, hey, this is Eternals focused, but it kind of wraps up. I just feel like this could have been done. I almost just wish you could have thrown 8 extra pages into issue 6, and charged me $1 more instead of charging me another $5 for this.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a cash grab. I will say though, some of the pages we did get, I was very like, oh, that's awesome. Like seeing, what's his name? The guy that started all of this being tortured by Uranos. Druig.
Yeah, Druig.
I just love seeing him getting his ass just totally handed to him, and then Uranos saying, like, oh, but I get to go out again at some point, which we all know is coming very soon. But overall, yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, this either could have been 6 extra pages in issue 6, or it could have been literally called Eternals Judgment Day issue number 16.
Right.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. I know that there's importance with Ajax becoming this new celestial eternal god and her changing the ways Eternals actually function, which I am excited about. Don't get me wrong. Like, because of Karen Gillan's Eternal run, I actually feel like I have some ownership to the characters, right? Like when they pop up, I'm not like, oh, the Eternals. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, the Eternals, So in that regard, it's cool.
Sure, but it looks like they just got this cool brand new status quo change, and now we're essentially picking them up and putting the toy away on the shelf again. Like, what do we have no planned or announced future with these characters in the slightest bit. So does this status quo change matter? Are we getting another Eternals book anytime soon? If we do get another Eternals book, are they going to pick up this new status quo change, or are we going to have
a Fantastic Four situation? We'll get there. Tendu, I'll ask you this: was it an X-Men event? I would argue that it wasn't. They were literally a pawn in a status quo change for the Eternals, because the Omega event didn't end with the X-Men. The Omega event here, or the Omega issue, ended with the Eternals. It was all about the Eternals. That's exactly
well, and the only reason why they were even involved was because they were drug in and deemed to be Eternals villains, aka deviants.
Right.
So,
and it was all based off of. Good.
Yeah, without that connection, that wouldn't have happened. So.
No, and it's all based off of Druig just using them as a pawn, right? Like, oh, we'll just take care of them. And yes, certain aspects of the X-Men were drug out because of the event, and I'm sure that's a tool used by the editorial team at Marvel to further along the plot and potentially get us out of the Krakoa era, whether you want to or not, or maybe it's not. We don't know. But yeah, I just don't. This was not. At the end of the day, it really wasn't. It wasn't an X-Men event. It wasn't an Avengers event. It was a Eternal event and an Eternal event, and yeah, featuring Avengers. Yeah, but it wasn't even that.
Well, that's not how it's literally given to us as AXE, Avengers, X-Men, Eternals. No, it never says features or anything.
I really think it was supposed to be an Eternals event, and they added on the bells and whistles of X-Men and Avengers to be like, well, okay, we can get all these different reader groups in to read this one event, and it ended up clearly falling flat on its face, which is very unfortunate because Karen Gillan's Eternals run is really good. It's really fun. We enjoyed it a lot as it progressed, but this for me was definitely a disappointment. So, me. All right. Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man issue number 13, The Hobgoblin's Last Stand. Definitely needed to do a little bit of research if you didn't know certain characters in this little story arc, specifically at the end too. If you didn't read the Beyond or the Sin Eater arc previous, you wouldn't know who that last goblin is at the end of the book.
Yeah, I don't know
but
who she is.
Yeah, I did a deep dive in it and I was like, oh, I mean, cool, but weird. But yeah, basically this is just a big old goblin fest, and we get the first appearance of the Golden Goblin, right? Is that what he's called? The Golden Goblin? I can't remember.
Golden Goblin, yeah.
Yeah, so Tendu looked decent. The Red Goblin Queen popped up in Beyond. Yeah, so that's originally, I guess she was in the Sin Eater as a different person, as a clone, and then she ended up becoming forced to become the Goblin Queen, and now she's after Osborn for his sins or being, brainwashed with this. It's all, it's a bunch of clone shit. That's basic Spider-Man stuff, right?
Really is.
I'm gonna say this. John Romita, and I think I've said this before, John Romita actually can draw Spider-Man pretty decently in action. In action. And that's really fun. It's just when we get out of that I'm like, ugh. I know
do human faces.
Right. It says I did enjoy how Osborn was in the hospital bed, like, whoa, lady. You need to call the cops. No, that was cool. Like I enjoyed that. I did enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy this issue. Even having to do some little digging, but I kind of like that sometimes in comics. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad issue. It was a fun issue. But this is gonna be weird to say, but I kind of think I'm ready for just a change of pace and ready for Dark Web. Like, and I'm not like. Weird, right? Because I'm not, but with the current story, I'm kind of like, man, let's see what happens. Even though I'm kind of frustrated with the way certain characters are being put in certain directions, but actually kind of looking forward to it. I don't know if that's because Romita's not going to be on the book, but I don't know. But overall, I'd give this a solid B+.
Okay, yeah, I would say For me, it would even be an A-.
Okay.
I thought it was a super fun read. It was a little quick, but it was like fast-paced quick. It has enough going on, like a lot going on that's like really intriguing between Gold Goblin and the two Hobgoblins and then the Red Goblin. It's just a Goblin fest everywhere. I don't know. This has a feeling of early 2000s Amazing Spider-Man, and I enjoy it. Also, he got the shit beat out of him. This
Oh yeah,
issue.
big time.
Like,
Almost died.
bad.
Yeah.
Zub has been really putting him through the ringer.
For sure. And I'm not saying I'm ready for Zeb to be off the book at all, but Tendu says I hope at some point someone writing Spider-Man can create a new Rogues or a duo Miles Peter ongoing. I would totally love that.
There's a
And I'm gonna
one right now.
right, but and I'm not saying this for clout. I'm literally saying this because I genuinely want to see this book because I know that this person has been dying to write this character. And you like the minute I say it, you're gonna roll your eyes, and that's fine.
Well, he can't even write his own books right now, so
Right, I know, but I am praying that someday Donny Cates gets to do what he did with Venom with Spider-Man, and I would love to see Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman reunite to do a Spider-Man run where they do create a new Rogues and do team ups with all the Spidey fellows, including Miles and Gwen and anyone else that he'd want to bring in. I think that I feel like Spider-Man is totally built. That character is totally built for Donny. Or maybe it's the other way around. Donny Cates is totally built for Spider-Man. I mean, you look at the styles, and I know we're getting off trails in the book, but you see with what he kind of writes with like the daddy issues and the just over exaggerated, overabundant storylines with massive, crazy shit that goes on. And I think he's totally right to do Spider-Man at some point, and I hope he gets it. Once he comes back, I think that would be your opportunity, Tendu. I think Donny Cates would do well. The other person I think would do well because we've seen it. I've seen an actual story from him to deal with Spider-Man, and I remember going like, "Wait, what would that look like?" I know, but I saw it, and now I want more, and that would be Jonathan Hickman. Like,
oh, okay.
That Jonathan Hickman Spider-Man story was just like, this is like awesome. Like, he literally does have the Midas touch. Like, he can turn shit into gold. So, who were you thinking I was talking about?
Chips at RC.
Yeah, that would be cool too, but no, I just don't.
He just talked about how he was not gonna ever write Spider-Man.
That sucks though. Patty, I like how he's not as good with the glider. No, that was pretty cool. Miles needs more development for sure. I totally agree. And that being said, did the new Miles book already come out? Did that come out this week, or is that coming out next week?
I don't know. Soon.
I need to check that out. I think I need to do a service and put that on the book on the show because I do want to read that. But anyway, A- from Nate, B+ for me. It was all right.
Yep. You're the one doing this to yourself.
I know. Again, this should have been an Avengers Forever book. Because all this is we're just introducing different variants of, of characters. Now, this is Agamotto or whatever, who's named after the actual relic. And him seeing all this, and he ends up essentially this issue, he just brings all the existing non-dead versions, right, Tendu? It never ends. Avengers 1 million BC to the present. So we have all of our, outside of Black Panther, who did die in that Avengers 1 million BC. They're all now in the essentially they just moved to the present. They're getting ready to join this fight, and some of them are clearly like our Sorcerer Supreme is like some of them will die here. Like it's just they're gonna die here. I think the coolest thing out of this one is when they show up. Before they show up, Thor's like, or Odin's like, I don't want to see Phoenix, clearly because he tried to marry her, and she was like, no, bye, and she went across the galaxy. And so when they show up, like everyone's looking at like Iron Man, but you can clearly tell that Odin's like, looking at Echo, who's the current Phoenix, going like, "The fuck," and then even Thor's like, "Wait, what?" What's young Odin doing here? So there is a dynamic that's building into this event that Aaron's about to do that I am actually kind of intrigued with. But overall, Tendu, you hit the nail on the head. This story will never end, and I'm sure it'll be 2 omnibuses big. Like, I don't think they can put the whole goddamn thing into a giant omnibus. I just can't see it happening. With Avengers Forever, and then Avengers Assemble, whatever we're doing there with the actual event that doesn't seem to have much steam. But I'm not even gonna say A for effort. I'm just like, oh, end it already. Let's go. Let's move on. Fantastic Four. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Well, let's do this. All right, Fatty Faithfuls, let us know in the comments. Did you read this book, and what did you think? Because we're clearly going to tell our opinion about it. But I'm interested to see if any of y'all read it and what you thought about it. I will say I did like the artwork. I had a lot of fun with the artwork. I thought it was fun. It was different.
Bon Quolo is great.
I genuinely liked the ending and wish that was the whole book, and I could care 2 cents about and it really sucks to say this, but I didn't care about the main part of the story, this short story, which is going to be the format moving forward, where we're going to get 30 pages of 28 to 30 pages of short story, random story, and then some sort of semblance of a main story mystery.
Yeah.
Right? And to me, that's very frustrating.
It is. And I think this is a really odd way to start off a number 1. To start off a new story. I understand that part of it was that Ryan North was wanting to do the mystery of it all, like what's going on here, and like where's the rest of the Fantastic Four, what happened in New York, where are the kids, sort of a thing.
Yep.
But this just felt like we just jumped in medias res. Like, we were like, this should be issue 3 or something.
Well, not even. Yeah. I guess I think you're right there. But like, even like North knows, and the readers know, that this is a new number 1, right? And like, he even put it out there, like, this will not be the same old bullshit. I'm gonna do 1 to 2 story little mini arcs. But then, like, what I guess for me, what the disappointing thing is that you're doing 1 to 2 little mini mystery art or little arcs, but then at the back end of the book, there's this like over lingering mystery, right? So it's like giving readers hope that there will be some connective tissue between stories. But if it's only going to be the last 2 pages, and Tinder just said a story like this should be in annuals. It felt like an annual story. 100%.
It did. And I'm just really worried that this is going to be a what could have been sort of scenario, especially with Alex Ross covers and Quolo interiors. Everybody's just going on about the art of this book. It's so fantastic. But if we want to do these types of stories, I think that there's a place for them. But I think that's in its own mini-series, or even its own even if you think there's enough material here for an ongoing, I just don't think you do this as the flagship title. And I think that, in the back, there's this entire page Ryan North puts out there of his vision for the book, and essentially he wrote like a 4-part little guideline of the things they had to keep in mind the whole time while they were creating this book. And I think that's great, but he talks a lot about continuity and how like it needs to be approachable, and how Fantastic Four is what the Fantastic Four is about. And I feel like he thinks he knows that, and he says that he does, but his story didn't show me that. I just don't know that this was approachable to any new reader, because they're probably going, wait, what's going on? Just like we are.
Let me just interrupt really quick. I think I put the blame on Dan Slott. Right? Dan no, well no, hear me. Just let's see if you agree after I explain. So what did Dan Slott do at the end of his run? He lobbed a ball up. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Sky. Here's Franklin. Here's the rest of the family. Here's the Forever Gate. Do whatever you want with it. Right? Because I surely am not going to give you any form of resolution. Here's Joe. Here's the thing's kids. Here's a storyline with Alice, who is the daughter of Felicia. What are the daughter of I don't remember the character. Puppet Master. I'm not going to resolve any of these things. It's up to the next writer. And I think North saw that and went, just as much as we were like, what are you doing? Like, give us resolve, give us some solution. And North was like, well, I'm not doing that. Right? Almost to the point where he's so aggravated with it that he goes, I'm just going to throw you right in here. And not to say that he did it well, because we're both on the same way. Like, I'm not trying to defend him. I think there's certain ways where you could do what he did, and we've seen it before in comics where we get thrown into a random situation, and then at the very end there's a mystery, and it all feels connected, and you're like, well, fuck, I got to pick up issue 2. And the last 2 pages only did that for me in this book. The entire story, I was like, oh, so this is a thing story.
Mm-hmm.
And then a page before the last 2 pages, you give me a little bit of breadcrumbs with, well, we may never see, or we'll see our kids again when they come back. And you're like, wait, what are you talking about? And then there's that connective tissue. And then you were like, right off the bat, when I talked to you about it, you were like, the next one's going to be Sue and Reed. And there will be no connective tissue towards until the very end. And like,
I don't think we're going to have any idea of what's going on until issue 5.
And then it won't even be that big of a deal. Right? We think.
And how big of a deal can it really be, right? Like, you can't just be doing these massive, earth-shattering events that aren't going to have ripple effects throughout continuity, just chilling out in this brand new Fantastic Four book. So, no, it's probably just going to be like, oh, we did this, but before anyone could notice.
So, that being said, with the way the book was written, and like just the flow of the book, and then our last 2 or 3, we'll even say 3 pages, will you be picking up issue 2? You're going to see it through.
It's Fantastic Four. I have to see what's going on.
See, and that's the problem, I think, is it's Fantastic Four. We have to do it. But, like, I don't know. Never mind. I'm not going to go down that road because that'll be such a, like, negative Nancy view. You're right. We'll go through the first arc, and maybe we're wrong. We'll watch issue 2, read issue 2, and like, oh my god, I see it now. Let's hope and see. If anything, the Alex Ross covers are a slam dunk. Let's see. Tiny says writers abandoning runs will always be a crime. Hickman, Slott, Tinian.
Unfortunately, if you can't, there's no such thing as serialized comic books without that.
Oh, Jaden.
It's not possible because none of these writers ever know how long they have until something is over. Like, I guarantee you that Slott had intentions. And by the way, while I know you don't like the way Sky or Franklin were wrapped up, the only thing that wasn't wrapped up was the Alicia and Puppet Master thing. He wrapped up Sky and Franklin. You just didn't like the way he did it.
Stupid.
And so I think that that was probably something he had plans to do, and then Marvel said, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and cut it here, and he was like, okay, well, can't finish that one. That's how it always happens. It doesn't matter how great of a writer you are, you almost never get to write your end. And that's why we have this really popular thing right now, like with X-Men Legends and Peter David doing Mr. Fix-It or Hulk, the Fix-It Hulk shit. And it's like these writers are going back to finish the story they never finished because we fired them from the book in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally what all of this is, though. Yeah. And so there really is no such thing. I almost guarantee you, I almost guarantee you we get a 10 or 12 issue,
Miss
10
you.
or 12 issue miniseries.
I miss you
with
too.
Jonathan Hickman in like the 2030s, and it's an elsewhere story of what would have happened in the X office writing X.
Krakoa.
I
You know
gu-
what? I can't
guarantee
wait.
you.
Can't wait.
I know, and you're gonna be just like the people that are now that are picking
Yeah,
up
that
these
we're so
Peter
annoyed
David
with.
stories. And so, like, I don't know. It's I certainly don't Dan Slott for this whatsoever. I actually think that he left a pretty golden plate for North to pick up. He left the family in one of the easiest spots they could have possibly been in, especially.
So do you think North
with
is picking
the
it up,
thing.
or
I no, I don't think so. I mean, I will go ahead and say that I am already biased that you have the audacity in 2022 to give me a Thing and Alicia story and not have the children. I think that is,
yeah,
to me, such a bad miss that I almost don't want to pick up issue 2, because it just shows me that this really amazing continuity change that we recently had, that was just a 100 hit, just an A+++ hit, which we didn't get a lot of those from the Dan Slott run, and the fact that we're going to not have the kids involved, to me that's just a huge miss.
right? Okay, there it is. I think that wraps it, puts it a bow on
Ryan
it.
Ryan
perfectly.
North hates the Thing. Doesn't want him to be happy.
Okay. All right. Next we have Marauders, issue number 8 from Orlando. You're not reading this, right?
No.
You're doing yourself a disservice. Orlando, you're frozen. God dang it.
Yeah, no.
Orlando is doing some crazy shit over here. He's building out this lore, and it's right up your alley because it's Shi'ar, it's original mutants, it's time travel, it's cosmic. Here, I'll just tell. Like, I'm not even. All I'm gonna say is this was the most fun Marauders book I've read in this current lineup. Like, it just gets better and better and better and better every issue. And I'll just tell you this: there's a mutant that can can grab people and can like essentially combine them all into one being, right? Mm-hmm. And in order for this group to time travel back in time to save the original mutants, he has to combine everyone, the entire Marauders group, into one being. So imagine a 12-foot tall, 10, or let's say, I don't remember how many arms, let's say 8-armed mutant that has a head, but then has eyeballs, like hexagon-shaped eyeballs constantly moving as it was fucking trippy, dude. And then they show up to save the original mutants, and insanity ensues. And I don't even want to give away the ending, but it was awesome. And I cannot wait for issue 9. Like, Orlando is having he's having a lot of fun with these characters. There are a lot of characters that I don't really give two shits about. Like, I don't care about Wolverine's son. But dude, he's not in a bad way. I just I'm not connected to that character yet. Orlando makes him approachable. Psylocke is a fucking amazing character always, but he's even better in this run. Kitty Pryde, awesome. I mean, the whole group. Cassandra Nova, which again, don't care, is bringing up some really cool points in the book. And I don't know. I just think this book is super fun. I think you're missing out. I think you should start reading this book. I think you need to catch up, because what he's doing in this book, I think, will have ramifications going into Fall of X. I won't say Sin of Sinister. I think Fall of X, well, maybe Sins of Sinister, but whatever they're doing in this book, I think will get them out of a bind. Whatever they're doing here, they will do something. It'll have some kind of solution and or problem solving in an X-Men event coming soon, whether that's the Fall of X or Sins of Sinister. I think we're looking at something here with big ramifications, and I cannot wait for it. And then Carl Vaney, the artist.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. So good. Constant. Let's do it. Tendu, Draken hasn't been interesting since Dark Avengers. I'm gonna take your word for it. But he was kind of cool. I will say he was kind of cool in X Factor, and that relationship he had with I don't remember the name of that character that he ends up starting to date. The first being that they investigate the murder of.
Yeah. It's she's from Alpha Flight. I can't remember her name.
They're still dating, and it's amazing. So let's go. Anyway, Marauders, awesome. Actually, a very bright spot in the X Office books currently. All right, let's talk about Moon Knight, issue number 17. This would technically be my Marvel pick of the week.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. In the previous issue, we had Hunter's Moon kind of laying down the hammer, being the physical one, and he ended up getting killed. And we had Moon Knight in the previous issue kind of doing it diplomatically, right? Trying to get the intel and trying to, see if he could solve this issue with the vampires with words. And in this issue, Moon Knight was like, nah, man, zip, put it down on the table and was like, this is what we're dealing with. And Capaccio, amazing.
His art's
I thought I don't know, the flow of the comic and how we dealt with our mercenaries was really good. And I will say this now, Moon Knight does vampires better than Blade. Like,
for sure.
It's almost embarrassing. I don't know. This was super fun. My only criticism, and I think it's because of how much fun I had with the book, was it was too short. It just read really fast. But god damn it, I want to see issue 18 like right now. Like right now. I want it next week.
Yeah, this to me it can't be understated how amazing it is on this book. I would say, what is it? We're 17 issues in now, so we're a year and a half into this book.
Yeah. Would you ever thought that you'd be picking up 17 issues of Moon Knight?
No, and I certainly don't think I'd be saying that Moon Knight has. I would probably give Moon Knight the award for best art in all of Marvel in 2020. Is it like the most? Is it the best of the best of the best of the best? Maybe not, but I think of the 17 issues, Cappuccio's only missed 2. And I say missed, of course that's planned. And
right.
In today's day and age, we're never gonna have just a solid. Besides, I don't know, Humberto Ramos on Strange Academy.
Don't knock on wood. What are you doing? Stop it.
Well, but they also delay the shit out of that, so
I take the delay.
That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Anyway, this book is so goddamn consistent. It's so good. The art is so amazing. I would definitely say Cappuccio and on Moon Knight is best of the year so far. And it's panels like these full page panels that are just
the one that I like. I mean, that's a good one. The one I like is where the Midnight Mansion is pulling that one mercenary down with like the skeletons.
Yeah.
And then there's
it
another
would have
one.
been really cool if we could have gotten this book out a month earlier, like for Halloween.
There's another one though when they go in and you can see like a skull. Like, where is it? I gotta look. Sorry, I'm like making you look at it. There's one where like it's like a slight detail, but if you look at it, there's a like a skull. Let's see. Let me find it. I will find it. It's right when they enter the mansion. Let's see. Maybe yeah, okay. So he drops the two, or the two mercenaries follow him into the Midnight Mansion down the thing, right? So you see him coming down. But if you look up here at the top, there's a skull with like a sing in its eye, and it's the mansion like following its prey down the tunnel. And like I saw that and I was like, dude, nice. What attention. What just I don't know. It was cool. And even Moon Knight like acknowledges like if I didn't have this fight at the mansion, I'd lose. I'd end up just like Hunter's Moon. But he's a goddamn ninja, dude. He uses his freaking surroundings to his advantage. And then obviously when he says that Moon Knight servants of Khonshu don't die, and Hunter's Moon shows up back. I was like, yeah, right. And then that was like our first oh shit moment. And then the next one was when Moon Knight and Tigra show up at the U.S. North American vampire meeting, and they're like, "Let's party, bitches." I'm like, dude, yes, please. So this is my Marvel pick of the week. So Lee, if you're watching this as a past episode, put this up on the wall for me, please.
Nice.
All right, let's move on.
Always.
Star Wars: High Republic.
Did you read this?
I did. I had a really good time with it. I am.
This is my Marvel pick of the week.
Okay, that's
sure.
good. Yeah, I totally see that. I was very pleased.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're gonna have more of the same of the reason why I love the first issue here. It's a little bit less focus on like the religious aspect of Jedi and the Force and stuff like that, but it's still, this issue felt very immersive. Like I felt like we were getting story the whole time, but the way that Kevin Scott just sort of implemented what am I trying to say? Set and scenario was really awesome. Like when they're walking through the crowd and they get harassed by the different sect of Force believers, and they were basically calling the Jedi like heretics and bullshitters because they're like, you don't control the Force, motherfuckers. Like you just let it be. Like
Right, you use it as a tool.
Right, you using it as a tool is wrong. And I was just like, we've never had anything like this in Star Wars before. No one has literally ever just gone, wait, should the Jedi be using the Force? Is that okay? Are we okay with that? Like, to me, that's just a massively intriguing plot point for Star Wars in general, and I'm really hoping it's a theme that stays throughout this entire Phase 2 of High Republic. But we also get some good fight scenes and some good, a little bit more understanding of our main character. Obviously, he is not dead. The assassin that would-be assassin turns out that he's not an assassin at all. That it's a pheromone that he releases as part of a evolutionary
defense mechanism
where it makes you hallucinate and dying so that they can run away, essentially. And he's able to prove to the Jedi that it wasn't him that killed the woman in the temple, and basically they realize that the Church of Kyber essentially has had a relic stolen, and that these missing relics from different religious places on Jeddah. It's probably a lot bigger thing than we thought it was.
Right.
So I don't know. I found it really fun. It felt like three things at once to me. It felt like a really cool character story from a Jedi who is pretty much the antithesis, I think, of any other main character I've ever. He's crass. He's rude. He is expectant of others to give him respect that he hasn't earned. He's just not the calm-natured, pious Jedi that we get as main character Jedi.
Right.
Plus, we're getting all of these new stories, all of these new characters, all of these new settings that are really fun. And then the third, of course, is this whole religious ideology behind the Force, and should our Jedi's the ultimate good that we think. At one point, he goes into a bar and says, "Ah, this guy's a dark side user," and they all mock him. One, because the guy wasn't using the Force at all, but two, that would be an offense. That there are people out there that don't see anything wrong with using the dark side of the Force. That's purely a Jedi narrative that using the dark side is bad, but that's really just their perspectives. And so, this was my most anticipated book of the weekend. So I'm just gonna go and say this is my pick of the week.
Okay, let me do it.
That's Yates, pick of the week.
I talked myself into it.
Nice. Do you think he'll turn into a Sith? No.
You talking about our main character?
Yeah.
No. No, I don't think he will, because he's way more driven, or he seems to me to be way more fear than fear is his ultimate driving point. The very first panel we get of this page is him coming to from the pheromone shot and thinking he was dead, and it was the flashback of when he was attacked by a dark force user as a child. And so I think fear in general drives him more, which I understand how fear could drive one to the dark side.
Right.
But, I think the fear of dark side users is his number one driving factor. So I think that would be strange if he ended up being.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's jump over to DC with Batman versus Robin. Issue number 3. This is what I'm gonna say. I don't care about Damian in this sense of being, resistant to the demon, but also like, oh, well, fuck up Batman. I will say I did like the heartstring moments with Batman and seeing his failures with the previous Robins and him, being like, oh shit, I fucked up, and like seeing him realizing that with each Robin, and then how calculated he could be in defeating them. And then obviously I really did like the Alfred goodbye message, saying, I'll see you soon, and oh, by the way, your parents love you. I was like, oh, what is it? Like, damn, right? I think that to me was those were the biggest things that I took away from the book that I enjoyed. Everything else, I'm just kind of like, why are we doing this? And I think what it is, it's not the Damien thing for me, really. It's the Lazarus Pits. I don't care about the Lazarus Pits, and like it's clearly going to.
They're going anywhere.
They're not. If anything, they're gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger in this thing. Helmet of Fate. That is pretty cool. I do like that. I also did like that the demon guy was actually a hero, right? Like he actually was a hero, but his pursuit of immortality turned him into this shitty thing. So that's cool. But I guess for me, the aesthetic of Batman versus Robin, to me, like I was putting away comics today and I was looking at it and I was like, I just don't like the title. Like I think that's what it is. It's that and the Lazarus Pits. You take that out, and the character development and character study of Batman and his realization of being a shitty father essentially to these Robins was cool. And then seeing Alfred, just lay down the emotional gauntlet for Bruce was like, damn son, like shove the knife in deeper. Like, Jaden says, yeah, I love Damien, but this was a real meh for me. Tendu, they shouldn't have revived Alfred. Instead, give him another helper like Penny, or someone else, or a rotating room of people.
I do like that idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna get over. I know you don't agree with me, but I cannot get over how much I hate this fake faux Batman suit. It's so bad. It literally, like, they didn't even draw it to where it fits him. Like, that's not a real thing. You can draw a costume. We're drawing. We can make it whatever we want. Make it fit him. Like he looks like a child in a grown man's trench coat.
I am not going to berate you for your opinion artistically. I will not. And if that's a problem, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'm not like, oh God, I want an action figure of this. Like I don't care about that.
You do. You do.
Anyway, yeah, it's meh. Okay, cool. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, issue 6. So we've come to the realization that like nobody actually died with Justice League. They were all just transported to their own planets to create more Infinite Earths. And essentially in this one,
I forgot about this book too. I did not read this.
You didn't miss much. Essentially what happens is this darkness that's been consuming is it Farah? Is that what it is? What's his name? Pariah. Has been using him as a tool to get unleashed, yada yada yada. He ends up getting getting killed just like the Justice League, and gets transported to his own world so that he can be happy. And the darkness now has consumed what's the guy? Slater. Not Slater.
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke. And so now he's like a hulked out Darkness Army guy, and he's going after all the Titans because that's what he does. This event sucks. I'm sorry. Like, and again, I'm obviously very biased in that sense because it's not meant for new DC readers. It's meant for, for you, for the long game. If you read Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that's fine. And I will say that for a reader like me, this book sucks, but it probably slaps for other people. Like, it probably really slaps for other people. But let's just get it over with. Like, this is what I'm going to say. I'm not impressed with Williamson's vision for DC. I'm just not. Like, and I'm actually kind of fearful for his Superman run. Like, if it's going to be like this, I'm kind of like, oh no. Like, I don't know if I want to read it. But I'm more interested in Tom Taylor's, what he's going to do with Superman, what he's going to do with John when he gets this new power. Like, I'm super stoked for that, and that's a fucking mini. And so, sorry, I'm like poo-poo. I'm poo-pooing.
Yeah, it's been kind of a poo-poo week.
Make it stop. Anyway, let's see here. I refuse to name to grow up. He looks like Tom Holland in DC. Jaden, because they probably have no plans for him, and the fan base is split on him growing up like John. Grow him up. I'm ready for it.
No, grown up.
John finally got a good moment. That was cool. This entire event was given to John a lot of superhero moments. Darkseid stopped John. There was 2 times I was like, John is cool. Jaden, yeah, I was glad he got some real action. No, like what he did when he stopped Darkseid, that was pretty damn freaking cool. Like, he was just like, let's go. Tendu Cyborg, Superman fighting John and wrecking him and him taking on the entire Dark Army. Yeah, there were cool moments, but as an event, this is even more disappointing than A.X.E. Like, I don't, and I think it all spanned with the whole like, oh, never mind. This is actually a tie-in. This is a sequel directly to Infinite Earths. I was like, I'm out. Like, I was just checked out after that announcement. And Empire, I'm right there with you. John, my heart. And let's talk about a book that really stole my heart. Let's see, is it up next? No, it's not. Let's talk about this one, and then we're going to talk about another one. Nice House on the Lake. What'd you think?
I liked it.
Okay.
It was very like, Tinian wanted to say, I'm going to do my best Christopher Nolan impression right here. And you thought Inception was fucking hard to follow? Follow this, bitch. Like, I felt like I got incepted twice while reading this.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it.
Well, I think what it did, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it did exactly what we were complaining about the previous issue. Was this book has been on break too long, I don't remember what's going on, and then this issue comes in and goes, and here's all the fill-in. Like, here's all the gaps that you missed in the last issue. This is what's been going on.
Yes and no. I still hold very, very firm to what I'm saying is that when you have a 12 character ensemble cast, where knowing who each character is important and vital to understanding what is happening, you can't. I think serializing the story was a bad idea. I think this should have been released only as a graphic novel. But
I'm not
I think
going to
if you're gonna serialize it, you better not miss a damn month. And so I'll still hold to the fact that this book has suffered greatly. I'm
not saying that all wrongs have been corrected with this one issue, but it definitely like it felt like Tinian was like, okay, I get it, I fucked up. So here's some help here.
Sure. It very much seems like you can see the writing on the wall, the shadows, or the walls are coming down. Everyone's starting to get their memories back and trying to figure out how to break out of this system that Walter has created. And I can't remember her name. What's the main character that we have on the front here?
I don't remember. Look at the back.
Nora. That's what I was looking at.
Yep.
Nora has literally, at one point, they have a conversation because, right, so Walter's doing this, and she says that she finally remembers the first time that she had by him. and it was when they were like teenagers in high school. Like that was the first time that he actually started deleting memories from these people. So
Yep.
who knows how much of the versions of themselves or even them, because they've had their memories altered so much that
Right.
mistakes that they have made have essentially been able to be undone in their past, like not while they're here in the house, like just
Right.
in their lives, which I thought was a pretty large, shocking revelation. Well, what was even crazier is to find out that Nora, who knew about this, at one point he quickly gives her. She goes into the deprivation tank house, like 2 weeks before where we're currently at. So where we're currently at right now is the doctor woman has just been shot. She's actually dead.
She did.
She's dead. And they're all going, yo, what the fuck's happening? And Ronnie, the guy that was locked up in the other house, is like, we're going to get him. And then we get a flashback to 2 weeks ago, and Nora goes into the deprivation chamber, and Walter is like, yo, here are your memories back. Sorry, let me fix this.
No,
here
you're
are your memories back. What the fuck do I do? I don't know what to do. And she's like, God, I can't believe you did this again. I told you not to do this when you had my memories the last time. And he's like, yeah, I know. She's like, all right, in order to make me do what you want me to do, this, and this, and this. And he's like, well, but when I give you your memories back again later on, won't you just remember this conversation and then stop again? And she's like, well, you better fucking hope that you convince me between now and then.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was, to me, it was very Inception-y.
I think we'll get more of that and answers in issue, hopefully in issue 12. And issue 12 better be a goddamn supersized issue. I want all of it. All of it.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you know right now.
It's not.
This is going to probably be more of a lost conclusion than
with no plans for a sequel.
What?
You think there'll be a sequel? Like
sequel
an arc
to this?
Yeah.
No. This is
sorry.
over.
I just want more Tinian. You know, like I just want more.
No, especially not DC. So this was supposed to come out. The last issue is supposed to come out 27th. I wonder if I can commit the 27th of December.
Okay.
Next month.
Okay.
I wonder if I can commit to a full reread so that I can read issue 12 with all 11 issues. I don't know if I can.
Might be fun. Might be
But
fun.
it would be fun. No, it would be very fun. It'd be very fun.
We'll figure it out.
What other books are... Okay.
We got time. We got time. All right. What the fuck? Where is... Hold on here.
You messed it up in the show, too.
All right, hold on. Let me pull it up here so that we can do this right, because this is my freaking pick of the week.
Oh.
It is my actual pick of the week. If my internet will move. Let me pull it up here. Yada yada da da. And boop. Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 17 is my pick of the week.
That's Jess. Pick of the week.
This was such a good fucking issue. I don't know. I know a lot of people. I know that a lot of people aren't fans of this book, and that's okay. But this was done so well, and to get both voices, two sides of a story with John and with Clark. I don't know. I just thought it was good. I thought it was really fun, and to see a father realize that, in some form of fashion, he made a mistake, right, by leaving when his son needed him the most, right? When his son really needed him the most, and it wasn't because of Lex Luthor, and it wasn't because of some existential threat from space. It was just a life situation, and John needed his dad at that moment, and he couldn't confide to him who he really was because he wasn't there, and so when he showed up in issue 18 and or whatever issue it was, and John could hear his heartbeat coming into the solar system, and he just like was overly abundantly filled with joy. And then in this issue, it immediately got wiped out because he didn't know how his dad would react when he found out that, you know, that he was bisexual, that he had a boyfriend, and that everybody knew it. And, you know, that shows a real fear, right? Of acceptance from your own flesh and blood. And I thought Tom Taylor did a really good job of conveying both sides of how John was feeling and his fear, and how Clark was feeling in his fear and his disappointment in himself of not being there for his son at his most vulnerable point in his life. And to an extent, Superman, you know, Clark was at a vulnerable point in his life too, right? Like it just matched well. And the the speech that Clark gives to John at the hospital, this is gonna sound really stupid, and it's gonna sound really whatever you want, but I'm just gonna fucking say it. I fucking cried. I cried when I read that because I could see me having that same discussion with my sons for whatever reason, for whatever situation that they're in, whether it's if they come out or if they got in trouble, or, you know, if they wrecked the car or anything like that. Like, I want to instill those same words that Tom Taylor wrote for Clark. Like, I want to say those exact same words. It was just beautifully written, to say that, you know, you will always be my son. You will always be my kin, and I'm always going to be there for you. I am your father. Like, I was just like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, that was so good. So I don't know. It hit me in the feels, and it's my official button pushing pick of the week.
That's Jim's pick of the
week.
Yeah, I don't think that I have too much that I can, because I agree with all of that. I think that, you know, because I really didn't see a ton, and I'm sure it was out there, but in my curated space of Twitter, I did not see the overwhelming wave of hate for this issue that I was expecting, and that I typically see when this book comes out every. Now, we all know the type of person that gets on Twitter to hate on this book. We all know that who those people are, you know, and what they stand for. And so I was really surprised that we didn't really see that as much this week. I will say that even if you're not a parent, and I do wonder slightly how this book hits if you're not a parent. Maybe it doesn't hit quite as hard. Or if you're not part of the LGBTQ community, maybe it doesn't hit as hard. But I feel like this is a really important book, and that it's really good for a character as popular and as big as Superman to not only show support for his son, but also to me to show his ability to be wrong or to be fallible, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
As a father, I think that's really cool. It's really wild that we got such an inspiring and moving story from Superman. I think that too many people we're moving away from dramatic change or big dramatic statement pieces in popular media. It feels like the people are afraid of the pushback they're going to get from that, and so we just have it's more independent comics and stuff.
Yeah.
So I applaud DC for allowing this to be here.
Yeah, no, I think it was just done really well. And Empire, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're going to get canceled for what you said. Also going to be canceled for this take, but I don't think someone has to be part of the community to write this. Tom Taylor nailed it. I think at its core, it's a message, I think, for men, whatever you want to call it, to say, like, you know, I don't want to get into too much, like daddy issues, but like I don't think dads enough say like I love you to their children, you know, and I think that's a generational thing. But like with my boys, I tell them I love them every day. I give them kisses on the forehead, I give them kisses on the lips, and just say like, hey, I fucking love you, dude. Like you're my blood, and no matter what you do, you always will be my son. You will always be my kin. You will always, my priority will always be you. Will you drive me nuts? Yes. Will you drive me up a wall? Yes. But at the end of the day, I will always love you, and I will always be there for you no matter what you do. And I think that sentiment is lost. And we do see that, you know, kind of peek its head in certain character developments. And I just think it's cool that it was in this book. And like Nate said, it's interesting that we got it in a Superman book. Because most of the time it's just like, and that's why, you know, that's why this run is so different and so cool. Like it's dealing with those issues that some people don't really want to talk about. And it might make them feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. You know, you don't have to read it if you don't want to, but I don't know. I just felt like it's just right. It just felt right. It was good. It was super good. I feel Empire says, and I feel like the "I will love you no matter what" is a timeless message, 100%. And I think it needs to be said more often. So, great issue. Let's move on to our Independence, and we have A Calculated Man issue number 4. No, that didn't come out, or you didn't get it?
Didn't come out. Got pushed to next week.
Oh my gosh, this is annoying. All right, let's talk about a book that did come out, and that's Boom Studio Specs issue number 1. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. I was, though, expecting a little bit more horror, and I'm sure we'll get it, but I was a bit I just wanted a little more horror.
Yeah, I think that maybe this, I don't know if it's the cover that made it seem like this was going to be a little more horror centric or what, because I was expecting the same. I was expecting it to be a little bit creepier, but it wasn't at all. So I don't know, maybe we just needed to kind of set the stage for what's happening here in this first issue. I don't know if we're gonna keep getting, you know, if we're gonna get more horror. So this book in itself is sort of an homage nod to like 80s 80s like high school movies, like movies that would have been popular for high schoolers or taken place in high school, stuff like that. This covers a direct homage to a movie with, I think it's I cannot remember. It's Time Runs Out or something like that. Someone tried calling Chris Sheehan out and was like, "Oh yeah, you're just ripping off movie covers," and the guy's like, "Do you not know what an homage is? Like this entire book is literally solicited as an homage to the 80s." But yeah, I thought this book was entertaining. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the interiors, which I knew. I mean, that's what brought me to the book, was the Chris Sheehan art. We basically have a story of two friends in high school that are, you know, sort of the nerds of high school thing. They read the comic books, they get picked on, and they see an advertisement for these specs that will grant you wishes in a comic book that's like from the 60s, but they never, you know, they're like, "Oh, that's so old, like that company's probably not even around," so they don't order them or anything. But then one day they show up at the boy's doorstep, and he puts them on, and they actually find out that they work, and they even find out there's limitations. You can't wish for like to cure world hunger or cure cancer, but they can wish to like get a home run or wish for $100 and it'll appear in their hands, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then what happens, our big climactic ending for this, or hook for this issue, is at one point at the beginning of the book, they got into a fight with the bully and made him look bad, and so he corners them while they're leaving a baseball game and no one is around and pulls a knife on him, and the kid puts on the glasses and said I wish you would leave my friend alone or something like that. And all of a sudden he just
Poof, gone.
We have no idea where he's at. But it does very much have like a what's the director that did like Pretty in Pink and John Hughes. John Hughes.
Okay.
Very much has like a John Hughes 80s high school, which I really dug. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. We'll be picking up issue 2. And I'm just gonna say it now, and anyone in the chat let me know, but I feel like does it seem obvious that the bully is also gay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Just want to make sure I was
it did seem like that was coded for sure.
Right. Like he's picking on him because he's upset with himself and he can't come out. And so he's going after our main character. I was like,
so
okay.
I would say that one strength with this book too is that it does seem to be tackling some obvious problems that we had with 80s high school movies and dramas and stuff like that weren't ever really addressed back then, and that being homophobia and racism. So our main character is gay and keeps getting picked on by the high school bully using derogatory slurs, and at one point he swings at the two friends. Kenny is the main character who we're getting the narrator from, who is white and gay, and then his friend Ted or Theodore, who is black, and Ted only goes in to defend him after his friend is punched, but the principal only sees him with his hand his fist in the air.
Yeah.
And he grabs his hand and stops him and is like, "Oh, Theodore, what the hell are you doing? You're in trouble." And none of the two white kids that threw the punches didn't get in trouble. But of course he did. And so it does seem like these are going to be slowly addressed throughout the book as well.
Right.
Overall, I don't know. I think this is a very, very, to me, it was very cohesive. Like maybe it wasn't 100% the direction I was expecting, but at no point was I like, this is weird, or I'm lost, or
no,
I don't understand what we're trying to do, or oh my gosh, this is too long or too wordy. It felt very succinct and very coherent.
No, the flow of the book did a good job. Like when I was reading it, I was never lost. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Like it flowed perfectly, and I am going to figure out that concept, that kind of like theory of writing comics, and I will have it so that I can say it every time, because Miranda showed me the book before multiple times. I just can't remember it. Patty, if this is on the shelf, I will pick it up next time at my shop. Do it, dude. I think you will be pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about our last book of the night, and that is Do a Powerbomb, issue number 6. And this is my independent pick of the week. Duh. Yeah. Tenny Warren Johnson again is coming out with a book that conceptually I would never like give two shits about, because I'm just not into wrestling anymore, professional wrestling, and he's just giving it his heart and soul, and it's just so damn good. And then on top of that, his artwork, it's just good.
It's great.
So we get a little bit of backstory with Cobra-san, and his previous his wife, who he ended up killing, and just seeing how they cultured their relationship, and we see the birth of his daughter and how that came about to be, and then we get an answer to, okay, they lost the tournament. Well, because the tournament that they're with seeks constant blood and violence, the two tag team champions ended up killing themselves. Not themselves, but they took each other out to the point they were dead, so they had to crown a champion. So they won by default. They were the runners-up. They become the winners. So the Necromancer King guy is like, all right, let's go resurrect your mom. Oops, I'm too old. I can't really do it anymore, but I've got a guy that might help you. And the book essentially ends with them having to do one more fight, one more round with God.
With God.
With the OG. And that's it. Like, I can't really, it's literally that. Like, they get, it's the secret boss fight, right? It's like the alternate ending. Not the alternate ending. You've killed the boss, right? But they have another form. And the other form is God. So our two heroes will quite literally be fighting God in a 2-on-1 match, handicap match. And if they beat God, he will resurrect their, wife/mother.
Right.
Yep,
What?
yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
That's the story.
I didn't know where we were gonna go, but when he brought it there, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then, I don't know, man. This book is just badass, and when it comes out inevitably in a hardcover, I'm gonna pick it up. Like, it's just I need. And the thing is it's gonna end, and then we won't know what Daniel Warren Johnson's doing for like at least a quarter of the year, and then he'll come out and either be doing a DC, Marvel, or his own thing again, and I will jump on it immediately, and it could be literally about sewing, and I would buy it. Because he's just that freaking awesome. Jaden, wow, good luck with that. What? No X-Force? There was no X. Was there X-Force this week? Did I miss a book? No, edit.
I'm off.
No way.
I've been off that. So
I wasn't off it, but if it was one, then shit.
new comics. Let's see.
There was a Wolverine.
There's a Wolverine, which
There was a Legion of X, which I'm not doing. There was an X-Men Legends.
Are you skipping Sabretooth? I mean, I guess you are.
Yes, I am. I'm not reading Saber. I'm not doing it. I'm also I'm skipping Batman Incorporated because it's not called Ghostmaker.
Even though it's literally a Ghostmaker story.
Yep, I'm boycotting it. You know what I wanted to pick up this week? I wanted, for some reason, I am kind of, and I might go to Zeus Comics tomorrow in Dallas.
Oh shit!
Wildcats, and it's purely because of the cover. The cover just looks cool.
I mean, it is Matt Rosenberg, and I do like.
Right, and it's also Matt Rosenberg. So Did anybody read Wildcats this week? Because I kind of want to pick it up. Like, I don't know.
Why does that feel like a book you would read?
It definitely is. Jaden's gonna be like, "It's my pick of the week."
I don't know.
So there was there X-Force? I still didn't see any X-Force.
No deceased. I still haven't read the originals.
Yeah, I need to read I don't want to read it because I haven't read the originals or the first 4 or whatever, how many ever there are. Yeah, I don't think there was an X-Force this week.
Tendu, yeah, what issue of X-Force were you thinking of? Because I don't see one on the list here. Oh, I don't see one. Actually, I should just probably search.
Just look up Marvel, yeah.
Well, no, I looked at all the Marvels, but.
Patty, how often do you guys pick up back issues, or do you have other older titles you guys are collecting or pick up if you see it? Right now, I've kind of stopped picking up back issues of certain things. That was really prominent when we first started this, where I was picking up like every Donny Cates, I was picking up all kinds of stuff. I will say, if I were to run into like Floppy's issue, like cover A's of Murder Falcon, I'd pick that up in a heartbeat. And then I think the other one would be God Country by Donny Cates. I would love to have, and there's no way I'd ever find those in reasonably, because they're going to be super expensive because they're making a show out of it. But that would be one that I'd find. X-Force was amazing. Was there an X-Force?
There was no X-Force. So, Tindu, tell us what issue you're talking about, because we had X-Force October 19th, which was the
Wolverine
Raptor cover.
He said it's Wolverine.
Oh, Wolverine. Got it.
So I jumped off. I'm sure I'm missing it, but I just can't. I can't handle it. I can't do it. Tindu, tell us how amazing it was, because I just can't. I can't do it.
I don't remember if I showed this off last week or not. Yeah, Murder Falcon is Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yeah.
When I pick up old stuff or just not what the new releases of the week, I'm almost % in collected editions. Floppy's not actually my favorite way to do things. I honestly, if we weren't doing the show, I don't think I would pick up weekly comics anymore. I just do it because of the show. I enjoy doing the show, guys. I'm more of a collected editions, and this is my most recent pickup. was the hardcover collection of James Tinian's short run magazine, horror magazine that he did. He did 5 issues of it, and it's pretty gruesome to say the least. Yeah, it's got all kinds of goodies in it. And it's not just it's mainly comics, but it's got some prose in here as well, and then some there's even a little bit of poetry, and there's a lot of really intense stuff in here. It's good.
I gotta show this guys to y'all. So Nate like got me some stuff for my birthday, which was like in May, but like he gave it to me super late, which is fine. Yeah, you didn't need to give me anything. But you want to talk about some cool shit? Demon Days.
Oh yeah.
What is it called? What's this size called?
Treasury Edition.
Treasury Edition. Amazing. And then this, I need to read it. I just haven't had time to read it. Daniel Warren Johnson's Dead Earth, Wonder Woman Dead Earth. I need to read this. So
yeah, and that's the Prestige magazine size
version. Yeah. So yeah, those are like little snippet things that I'd look for. And also I think any House and Powers like really cool variant covers that I find, yeah, I'd totally pick this. I almost picked up one that was like a secret variant. And I think they still have it at Runs. I need to pick it up because it's like $10. It's like perfect. So, Patty, that Murder Falcon looks sick actually, and so does that. Sounds like my thing. My thing. I really like trades and collected editions. Yeah, I would highly recommend those for sure. But anyway, that is going to do it. Oh, and Tendu, I see what you're saying about it was inevitable that Beast was going to go AWOL. It's just unfortunate because Wolverine, like the minute Wolverine surfed on a vibranium, I was out, and that really sucks. So I'm gonna have to wait. I'm either gonna have to read it online or something like that. Wolverine was like X-Force. It wasn't X-Force, but Wolverine. It was amazing. Beast is losing his mind, and he's moving towards his sublime alter ego. Interesting. Yeah, I just don't trust it, man. I got burned. So it better be amazing. Patty, Dead Earth is a sick name of a title. In Canada, we got super lucky and somehow got trade paperbacks in the Dollarama. So I picked up those. Almost have every new 52 Batman appearance just from there. Wow.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for issue 111 or episode 111 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. We appreciate every single one of you that were here live, and obviously we appreciate every single one of you that watched this as a past episode. We love the fact that you watch our videos, and as always, again, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a like. We're trying to get to 750 subscribers as fast as possible. We cannot give away that Silver Surfer Black until we hit that number. We gotta stay truthful, guys. We gotta stay true. Hey, there's Joe. Hey guys, can't stay. Still crying about the Cowboys game. LOL, kidding. Gotta get up early. I'll watch and rewind tomorrow. Joe, we just are glad that you're here right now, letting us know that you're okay. Okay? We're glad you're here.
We did miss the halftime question.
We did miss. Well, we kind of got one from Patty. This is kind of like an unofficial halftime question, so we do appreciate that. Super Nuts Overstock. Some places got a Avengers book with incursions and codes from 2016. So weird. Yeah, Patty filled in the halftime question, so we appreciate that. Anyway, be sure to watch our new Comic Book Day video coming out this Tuesday, 4:30 Central Standard Time. And then always we'll meet you guys again here live to review those books this Sunday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. There may be a bit of a delay in next week's new Comic Book Day video. We'll see, because I will be going out of town this week when we normally film, but I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Well, I would just say now through the holidays, expected things to be a little bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
New Comic Book Day might get held up a little bit, and then I won't be here next Sunday. So,
oh, that's right.
Or, I don't know.
Let's go ahead and let me look at next week's really quick. Let's look at next week's books, so we can kind of make a judgment call. I mean, I don't mind doing those lives by myself, but it's way more fun when you're here.
Demon Wars, Devil Chicken, Something's Killing.
Oh,
Iron Man, Nightwing.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah, Immortal, X-Men 2. I don't know if you've seen that issue.
Could we do a live episode on Friday? Maybe. Keep your eyes peeled. Maybe there's a new episode on Friday. We'll see. Live.
Follow us on Twitter. We'll put it on there for sure.
Yeah, get on the Elon Musk Twitter and let us know. We'll blue check verified. Or Instagram or here on YouTube. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we will see you guys live at some point. But as always, read more comics and be kind to one another. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Later. Holidays will be hectic. You're still alive, but I get it.
No, I don't want to.
Don't want to go. Who's getting married?